A wave looms on the horizon. Something seems off. The tide rapidly recedes, exposing hidden seabed as an ominous roar fills the air. This is no ordinary wave, but a towering tsunami swelling offshore, one of nature's most destructive forces. But before we investigate the causes of these giant, deadly walls of water, take a moment to join our community of disaster preparedness. Subscribe and hit the bell to receive alerts whenever a new mini-documentary drops, exploring hypothetical realms through adventures both past and future. Now, what forces could unleash such devastation as an incoming tsunami? Most begin not on the ocean surface, but miles deep underwater along tectonic fault lines. There, the seafloor suddenly shifts dramatically upward or downward, displacing unimaginable volumes of water. This sudden seismic shift of the ocean floor displaces unimaginable trillions of tons of water upward or downward. The initial quaking may barely be felt aboard ships or coastal dwellings tens of thousands of feet above, but the real danger brews in the subsequent chaos set into motion deep below the waves. As gravity pulls the displaced waters back, a tsunami wave train forms. Enormous waves radiate outward in all directions from the quake's epicenter at jetliner speeds, accumulating in size and power as they race toward distant shores. Other triggers like underwater volcanoes or massive coastal landslides can also dump huge volumes of water upward to create this deadly ripple effect. Many hours may pass before tsunami waves finally bear down on coastlines thousands of miles from the source, but advanced early warning signs often emerge that danger is imminent. Now, before we move towards steps to survive a tsunami, let's listen to Jai Brish, a tsunami survivor.
On the morning of December 26, 2004, 7 days into our trip and 10 years before our launch's Kickstarter, a 9.5 magnitude earthquake struck the nearby island of Sumatra. The earthquake sent 40-foot tsunami waves radiating throughout the Indian Ocean, including towards the beach where we were staying. There was no warning system in place at the time. I didn't know what a tsunami was, and no one knew it was coming. That morning, my younger sister Kali and I were asleep in our bungalow while the rest of my family was out scuba diving. Kali's screaming woke me up, and all I saw out the window was a giant wall of water coming towards us. I yelled, "We have got to get the hell out of here," and ran for the door as it crashed into the bungalow. I was instantly submerged, and there was no escape. The water washed me more than a mile inland. I tried to swim to nearby balconies or grab onto concrete poles or anything else I could find, but there was no way to fight against its massive power. It was like being in a washing machine with bricks and wood, glass, razor blades, concrete, and shrapnel. I could have given up and drowned so easily, but I just kept telling myself it wasn't my time to go.
Only hearing that gave us chills. What do you guys say? Let us know in the comment below. Now let's move on to how to survive a tsunami. Phase 1. Identification. Spotting an approaching tsunami ranks among the most critical survival steps. Waiting for official alerts could be too late. Self-evacuation upon noting nature's foreboding clues often proves life-saving. A clear indicator is the ocean itself beginning to dramatically recede from the shoreline, exposing more and more of the seafloor. This is no ordinary low-tide event. The water withdraws with alarming speed and vanishes miles out within minutes. Dark, muddy ocean bottom crisscrossed by stunned fish may suddenly lay bare to the horizon. But don't investigate or collect stranded creatures. This mass retreat is the classic historic harbinger. The tsunami gathers strength offshore before flooding back with a vengeance. An ominous distant roar may fill the air as the now towering wavefront nears land, appearing first like a small surging hill on the sea's surface, growing exponentially in height until a sheer moving wall of water blots out the entire skyline. Any one of these vivid phenomena means a tsunami's arrival is likely only minutes away now. So upon noting nature's warnings, seek higher ground immediately without hesitation. Phase 2. Evacuation. Heeding the warnings, quickly self-evacuate without hesitation. Every second counts if a tsunami is just minutes from impact. Don't rely on official alerts. Move immediately toward higher elevations the moment nature signals danger. Authorities may urge everyone to evacuate 300 meters inland or 30 meters vertically. But if possible, keep moving further uphill as you are able to. Experts state each added meter climbed vertically could increase the odds of survival against a tsunami's fearsome run-up and flood depth. Gather family members and make directly toward designated public tsunami shelter zones, municipal buildings, tall hotels, parking garages, or high-rises beyond the expected tsunami evacuation boundary. Have a contingency evacuation route planned ahead of time if main roads face gridlock. Talk over backroad shortcuts and scenarios with household members so everyone knows the quickest paths to safety. Grab disaster preparedness bags if a few moments allow, containing important items like water, flashlights, radio, mobile power banks, face masks, essential documents, and medication. But evacuating people takes priority over possessions, so evacuate urgently even without emergency kits if need be. Lives matter over belongings. Phase 3. Take shelter. Already near coastal waters as the tsunami bears down with little to no warning. All may seem lost, but sheltering options yet remain. Reinforced concrete buildings over 6 stories tall could enable life-saving refuge if reached quickly, especially structures sited further inland or positioned to shield from incoming surge directions. Multiple levels prevent easy flooding, while sturdy frames stand up to the debris-laden crushing weight and battering force of flowing waters. Move upwards inside stable buildings to upper floors. Water rise may still be substantial on lower levels. Gather other residents to shelter together if possible, rather than singly in isolated units. Rooftop helicopter rescues won't be possible once tsunami waves overtake a site. Avoid upper apartments or buildings with mainly glass instead of concrete and steel construction. Structures still under construction also offer last-ditch shelter spots to occupy, like partially built upper floors, construction scaffolding, or tower cranes. If no buildings are reachable in time, a firmly rooted large tree, electrical tower, or utility pole could enable climbing up out of harm's way. Cling tightly and brace against buffers like tree trunks rather than dangling precariously from fragile branches alone. Sites shielded from expected surge directions are best if available. Even temporary debris floating on the rushing waters might ferry one to safety, but only as a very last resort. Wait alertly for search and rescue. Phase 4. Wait it out. Safely navigating up into a well-protected shelter, it may seem the worst is over as the first giant surge of water slams ashore. But history warns the tsunami peril persists, with even deadlier follow-up waves possible over the next hours and days. Like aftershocks with earthquakes, successive tsunami waves, called wave trains, can rock the coast at intervals ranging from just minutes to over an hour apart between crests. Rather than from the same direction, ensuing tsunami walls of water may surge from completely different compass points, and with even greater run-up heights and crushing hydraulic force if along focused directions. The largest wave may not even be the first. Japan's 2011 tsunami unleashed over 30 discrete flooding waves. Hawaii's biggest tsunami deluge struck 7 hours after initial seismic rattling. Wave trains can sustain flooding for up to 48 unrelenting hours, so persisting safely on high alert is imperative until the all-clear sounds. First wave recessions offer no guarantee the onslaught ends. Whether unfolding tragedies or remarkable survival stories emerge comes down to knowledge, preparation, and rational action, even amidst panic. By heeding history's lessons, we can break free of victim mindsets and dramatically bend the odds in our favor when facing disasters. Refuse to abandon hope. With courage and level-headedness, people have always discovered pathways through the darkest hours. Past citizens clinging to life for days atop debris prove we too can tap into that human capacity for resilience. Recognizing our incredible strength of spirit to endure against incredible odds can empower us to ride out even lengthy tsunami flooding.